So today we're talking about Epstein and we're talking about Trump and the past and the future and what's going to happen with this whole thing. So let's start with the past. The Wall Street Journal has published a story that claimed that President Trump sent Jeffrey Epstein a letter in 2003 for his 50th birthday, a birthday letter, handwritten drawing of a naked woman in it with a playful, intimate sounding note. Trump denied any involvement with this said note, calling the entire piece fake and defamatory, and immediately threatened to sue both the Wall Street Journal, News Corp, and Rupert Murdoch. Those things said pretty quickly. Trump says he personally alerted Murdoch and Wall Street Journal editor-in-chief Emma Tucker, warning them not to run the story. When it went ahead anyway, he announced on Truth Social that he will sue them all shortly. Of course, he sues everyone, so we'll see how this thing plays out, whether it's an actual something out there or will there be a negotiation to make it go away, although it's hard to make something go away once it's put out there in print for all of us to see. He accused the outlet of printing lies just to stay relevant, something he accuses basically all news outlets of doing just to stay relevant. But there's actually some Epstein news in here. He instructed Attorney General Pam Bondi to push the Department of Justice to release sealed grand jury transcripts from the Epstein case. Trump claims this will expose the truth, describing the current focus on Epstein as a hoax, which he's gone before, and pushing that his political foes are basically making this a thing. Now, what some pundits are saying about doing this, releasing the transcripts, they're basically the boring parts of all the story. It won't really say very much, but it will say something. And it will prove nothing, which technically will prove what Trump is saying. There's nothing to see. The problem is Trump supporters, maybe not so much Trump himself, ran on, pushed on, promoted the Epstein files as an issue for basically owning the libs. But right now it's owning the Republicans, owning GOP as their home leopards are now eating their faces. Trump's legal challenge and demand for transparency could expose new documents in the secretive case, so maybe more things will come up in this back and forth. And the strong response may actually rally supporters around Trump to say, hey, back off the man, back off the Epstein stuff. This isn't worth it. The problem is, it's not going to matter. Lawsuits take time, they cost money, and because he sues media outlets every single day, it doesn't really mean very much. And of course, the push to unseal the grand jury records is something that's not normally done. And as I said, the pundits I've seen this morning talking about it say, probably want to actually answer the questions that want to be answered, which is the problem. There are questions people want answered. They aren't being addressed. So will he file a lawsuit? Maybe, maybe not. Trump says he's filing lawsuits against folks. He does file lawsuits against people. He has a friendship, a kinship, a long-standing relationship with Rupert Murdoch. It's been strained lately, which is weird, but essentially Murdoch helped to build Donald Trump, and now it's not working so well. And maybe unsealing these documents will actually alleviate some of the pressure of Epstein off of Donald Trump going forward. Most likely the MAGA crowd will keep yelling for Epstein until they see what they look for as a client list because they were told it existed, and not getting it is a problem. Trump has been competitive with many folks before, including the Wall Street Journal, on various things because they print something he doesn't like. Back before he was president, back when he was first president first time around, and definitely in the time between when he said he did not lose the election, but was working his way back into office. What's going to happen really that's interesting is what happens in 3.5 years when he's not president. Those years after that where he still has the power, still has the stick, but can't actually make the laws go the way they want him to do. Or maybe he can if it's Don Jr. in the seat. We'll see about that. But what is going to happen with this one specifically, because the Epstein files, the Epstein case, the Epstein everything is a mess. It's a mess, ironically, of Donald Trump and his cronies making. And so unmaking it is an issue. Will this and suing the Wall Street Journal for this side piece thing, going back and forth, showing that there was, although we already knew there was a relationship between the two, but showing a little naughty side between the guys back 20 odd years ago, will this mean something? Will it mean the end of the Wall Street Journal, Rupert Murdoch? Will we have secession for real going on for News Corp, or will we just have more complaining and screaming and yelling about Epstein, Epstein, Epstein?